So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, number 106 from October 1967, with story by Jim Shooter and art by Pete Costanza. The trouble with 30th Century is it's such a dead place. Nothing ever happens here. Jimmy Olsen has delivered hundreds of headlines and scores of scoops here in the 20th century, but how does our journalist genius make out 1,000 years from today when he becomes the lone wolf Legionnaire reporter? So we open in 1967, where Jimmy Olsen is going to be putting on a show as a human projectile. The giant cannon is none other than Jimmy Elastic Lad Olsen, and our intrepid human cannonball is also Jimmy Olsen. And yes, even our safety net is the amazing Elastic Lad. So he does his little show. Thank you, Mr. Olsen. The receipts from these performances will build a new wing onto the Children's Hospital in Metropolis. Wow, they made a lot of money. So he gets a message suddenly from Brainiac 5. Brainiac 5 calling, we have a special emergency here in the 30th century that only you can handle. A Legion emergency, then use your time cube to draw me into your era. And they do. Jimmy's arrived. What happened? An alien invasion? A criminal takeover? A galactic war? Not quite a galactic war, Jimmy. Then why did you send for Elastic Lad? We didn't. We want you, Jimmy Olsen. Yes, only a star reporter like you can handle the problem we have. Huh? You remember the monthly newspaper we published, the Legion Bulletin? Yes, as an honorary member, I receive a copy. When the Legion started, the Bulletin was just a club newspaper to keep Legionnaires on distant missions informed about our news on the home front. But now it's read by thousands of law officers throughout the universe. Anyway, we need your help on this month's issue. Duo Damsel is the only Bulletin staffer on base. The rest are on missions, and you are a top reporter. Sure, why not? It'll be a blast nosing around for news here in the 30th century. Great, Jimmy. We knew you could do it. So he decides to head out and see if he can find some stories using the flight ring. Wow, thanks to my Legion flight ring, I can get a great view of the 30th century, and it's sure something to see. So he decides to go to the Metropolis University and listen to a speech, but it gets really boring. Any luck, Jimmy? Afraid not. Nothing very exciting in the way of police news seems to be happening. Well, something better happened, and fast. We only have 3 days. So he goes back out to see if he can find a news story. The science police chief is a friend of the Legion. Maybe he can give me an exclusive. I'll be glad to give you an interview, Jimmy, but it will have to be before 4 o'clock when I'm leaving for Antares. Let's see. It's 3:20 now. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So he's off to speak to the police chief, but notices a young child on these tracks. So he drinks his liquid, becomes a last lad, and saves the girl. My flexible body, coiled like a spring, is slowing down the new light metal train. It's over. I did it. Now to get the kid off the track. What? It's a doll, a realistic doll. I risk my life for a doll, and drat, there goes my train. Now how do I get to my interview? So he walks there, which seems unlikely, but the commissioner is gone. Oh well. Now what do I do? There went my chance for an exclusive interview. Well, it's getting late. Something will surely turn up tomorrow. So he decides to head back out. The Case Metropolis Bank. Say, there's an idea. I can write an article comparing the security procedures of the banks in this age as compared to those in my time. Help! There's a man trapped in the vault. It has a time lock. He'll suffocate before they can get him out. So he calls Mon-El, but Mon-El can't do anything. No dice, Jimmy. The atomic lock makes the vault unbreakable, even for me. Ripping it open could start a chain reaction that would destroy Metropolis. So yet again, he uses his elastic power to slip into the vault. Wow. Into the lock. It's a tight squeeze in here, but if I can just reset the atomic timer with my nose, the vault's opening. Olsen saved him. Alas, the lad's a hero. Congratulations, Jimmy. That was a great feat, young man. Amazing. Thanks. For the Daily Planet, this would be front page stuff, but as police news, nothing. Ha! If I handed this bank security story to Perry White, he'd fire me on the spot, but it's all I have. So he heads out to the Metropolis Museum and is looking at all of these badges. Wow, a bonanza, an exhibit of badges worn by famous lawmen. It has all their stories too. But apparently in the future, glass is extremely breakable, and he breaks it. Oh no, the glass must have been cracked. I've set off the alarm. Hey, someone tripped the alarm. Let's go. The guard's coming this way. I can't waste time being questioned by the cops. I'd better slither out of here as a last lad. I can pay for the display case later. The guards are running toward the central scanning chamber. In there, they can monitor every square inch. Well, he knows a lot about this place. Not even a fly could escape undetected, so he kind of wraps them up to stop them as more police arrive. I still need a story. Nothing. A few weak stories, articles that aren't worth the paper they're written on. Some issue this is going to be, and the whole Legion was counting on me. So tired. Jimmy, wake up. Huh? Congratulations, Jimmy. It's a fine bulletin. Fine. It's terrible. And look, I didn't even send it to the printer. I flopped. Looks pretty good to me. Take a gander. What? An issue all about me. Alert reporter spots Nab's uniform gang. That's right. All about the amazing feats you've performed during your 3 days here. What feats? Like the valuable experimental child robot you heroically saved. Vandals had stolen it and tossed it on the monorail tracks. I thought it was a doll. And that man I saved from the vault? You cracked the most burglar-proof safe in the universe with ease. Countless banks are changing their vaults to eliminate the weakness you revealed, so anyone locked inside will definitely die. And those guards in the museum were really the uniform gang, criminals who disguised themselves in uniforms to pull their robberies. They were headed for the exit and escape when you stopped them. But who wrote those stories? I did, Jimmy. I heard about your feats, so I used our time scanner to see and photograph you in action. How about that? Instead of a news gatherer, I turned out to be a real newsmaker. Face it, Jimmy, as a reporter, you make a good hero. Now, I know a lot of people sit there and they say, well, these stories are written for kids. This one was really written for kids. I didn't particularly think much of it. I thought it was a very forgettable story. But even though I'm generally a big fan of Jimmy Olsen, but I didn't think much of this story.